friend. A friend. Raise your hands if you have a friend or if you have friends. Or if you had friends. That's it. Nobody else has ever had a friend in life. It's an honest question. If you don't have friends, that's no problem. Raise your hands if you have a friend. A good, close friend. Right. Okay. Now, the next question is, raise your hands if you, listen carefully, don't be hasty. If you love this friend and that friend loves you. If you have a friend that you can honestly say you truly love and they love you back. Whether it's 50-50 or more on one side. Right? Most of the brothers, I'm sure most of the sisters as well. A true friend. There is a hadith, before we get into what we want to get into, there's a hadith, a very interesting hadith that's not authentic. It's not authentic hadith, but the meaning is profound. And in this hadith, the Prophet ﷺ is quoted to have said, is that there will come a time, he says, أَعَزُّ الْأَشْيَاء ثَلَاثَةً. The three scariest things, the three hardest things to come upon or come across will be three. The things which are the hardest to come across are going to be three, not four, not two. Three of them. The first of them, this week hadith, it states, dinarun halal. A lawful dollar bill. A dinar is lawful. It's going to come a time which is difficult and burdensome for you to have halal and clean money in Islam. The second one, it states, there will come a time in which the most difficult thing to find is a true friend. A true and honest friend. Not a good, fair weather friend. Not someone who likes you for what you have, or what you give him, or what you bring to the table. But someone who likes you for who you are as a person. When you're happy, when you're angry, when you're up, when you're down. A true friend. Someone that you can confide in. You can tell them a secret. You can tell her a secret. And you know that secret is locked up eternally. No matter how much pressure comes down, your secret is safe. Someone who has your back. Someone that's going to give you advice and tell you what you need to be told and not what you want to hear. A true friend that is going to tell you what you need to hear and not what you want to hear. There's a huge difference between the two. A true friend, you love him, he loves you, you love her, she loves you, whether it's your wife, your mother, your father, your friend from high school, but a true friend. There is no doubt this part of the hadith is true. And fake friends, friends that come and go, that's easy and that's simple. Everybody understands this, but a friend that's true, that's a real friend. And then in Islam, the concept of friendship. Who is to be your friend? Who is not to be your friend? What are the rights of your friends? What are the etiquettes of having a friend and treating a friend? The Prophet ﷺ, he gave a great deal of attention. Hang out with this person, don't hang out with that person. When you see your friend, when you eat with your friend, when you're invited by your friend, there's a whole list of rules, do's and don'ts when it comes to what? Friends. And in Islam, when you love someone, there are three levels of love. Not one level, not two levels, but three. The first is basic love, what we call al-mahabba. Al-mahabba, or hub. You love somebody, a little bit, a lot, all of the time, some of the time. I have affection for this person. And the second one is that which is called al-wud, or al-mawadda. It's a higher level of love, more intimate, more personal, it's more serious. And the third and final type or level of love, the pinnacle, is that which we call in the Arabic language al-khulla. Al-khulla. In which a person is not your sadiq, he's not your habib, he's not your zamil, he's not your this, he's your khalil. This is my closest friend, my most intimate friend, my most private friend, my most trusted, valuable friend. The Prophet ﷺ says, Al-mar'u ala dini khalili. فَلْيَنْظُرْ أَحْدُكُمْ عَمَّنْ يُخَالِلْ. That a man is upon the religion of his khalil. Not his basic normal friend, but his close companion. There lies no doubt they must have the same religion. If it wasn't, they wouldn't be so close. And this level of love and friendship is so intimate that it was something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made exclusive. And he would not allow to be shared. During the time of Ibrahim alayhi salam, Allah took him as his khalil. The Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, he told his companions in hadith and collected in the Sahih The Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam, he said, narrated by Jarir ibn Abdullah al-Bajali, إِنِّي أَبْرَوْ إِلَى اللَّهِ مِنْكُمْ أَنْ يَكُونَ لِي خَلِيلٌ. He says, I free myself. I have nothing to do with having a khalil from among you. Me and you, we're friends, we're companions. I teach, you learn. I lead, you follow. But you're not my akhillah. I'm not your khalil, you're not my khalil. You may love me on this level, but I cannot love you on that level. He says, فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ قَدْ اتَّخَذَنِي خَلِيلًا كَمَا اتَّخَذَ إِبْرَاهِيمَ خَلِيلًا. He says, indeed, Allah has taken me as a khalil, just as He took Ibrahim a khalil. In other words, due to the fact that Allah made Muhammad his khalil, there was no room for what? Any other khalil. That love was too serious, too intimate. No one else could share that relationship and that status. And before we move on to this beautiful hadith, it's a very common mistake that many people they make when they talk about the Messenger of Allah, they say Habibullah. And that's disrespect to the Prophet ﷺ. He's much more than Habibullah, he's Khalilullah. Khalilur Rahman. And as we said, Hub isn't the same as Khulla. Khalil is the top. The hadith then says, وَلَوْ كُنْتُ مُتَّخِذًا مِنْكُمْ أَحَدًا خَلِيلًا لَاتَّخَذْتُ أَبَا بَكْرٍ خَلِيلًا. And if there was anyone that would be my Khalil, but there isn't, it would be one man and one man only. He didn't say Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu. He didn't say Umar, he didn't say Uthman. He says Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu. He would be my Khalil. So let's ask ourselves the questions, brothers and sisters, in Ramadan, in the last 10 nights, the odd nights, perhaps, Allahu Alam, maybe this may be Laylatul Qadr. Who is your Khalil? And what happens to you and him, or you and her, when you move on, when you move forward, when you travel to the real life, the true life, when you're going to really need a good friend. You're going to really need a tough friend. A friend that can outlast the adversity. As the poet said, Jazallahu shada'id kulla khairin. Araftu biha sadiqi min aduwi, aw kama qala. He says, may Allah give hardships all the rewards. Through hardships, I learned my friend from my enemy. May Allah bless hardships, hard days, rainy days. Because rainy days tell me who is truly my what? My Khalil, my intimate, close friend. So let's ask ourselves the question, who is your Khalil? What happens between you and him, you and her, when you die, when you pass on, when your wealth is of no benefit, your clothes of no benefit, what you look like is of no benefit, your family name, your status, your profession, your job is of no benefit, how good you can play basketball is of no benefit. What takes place? Let us listen to the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam for the answer when he talks about friends, the types of friends, and what those friends will do, the benefit and the harm of friendship and of friends. Imam Abu Abdullah al-Hakim rahimahullah, he says in his Mustadrak, حدثنا أبو إسحاق إبراهيم بن محمد بن يحيى وأبو الحسن ابن أبي القاسم العدوي قال حدثنا أبو بكر محمد بن إسحاق قال حدثنا أحمد بن حفص بن عبد الله قال حدثني أبي قال حدثني إبراهيم بن تهمان عن الحجاج عن قتادة عن أنس بن مالك أنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم الأخلاء ثلاثة فأما خليل فيقول لك ما أعطيت وما أمسكت فليس لك فذلك مالك وأما خليل فيقول أنا معك حتى تأتي باب الملك ثم أرجع وأتركك فذلك عهدك وعشيرتك يشيعونك حتى تأتي قبرك ثم يرجعون فيتركون وأما خليل فيقول أنا معك حيث دخلت وحيث خرجت فذلك عملك فيقول والله لقد كنت من أهون الثلاثة علي لقد كنت من أهون الثلاثة علي قال الحاكم هذا حديث صحيح على شرط الشيخين ولم يخرجاه فقد احتج جميعا بالحجاج بن الحجاج ولا أعرف له علة ولم يخرجاه على هذه السياقة. The hadith narrated by Anas ibn Malik radiallahu that we just gave you with the full chain of narration, raw and organic, directly from the ground, not from another book. A summarized version is directly from the books of the Sunnah. Anas radiallahu anhu, he said that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Al-akhillahu thalatha." Intimate friends, close friends are three. of 3 types, 3 categories. Your true friends are 3. He says, as for one Khalil, the first Khalil, then he say, لَكَ مَا أَعْطَيْتَ. What you have given, you will keep. And what you hold back, what you refuse to give, what you refrain from spending, فَلَيْسَ لَكَ. It doesn't belong to you anymore. It's of no benefit. Rather, it's going to be of harm to you. The Prophet ﷺ, he says, فَذَلِكَ مَالُكَ. He says, and that is your wealth. Now, to many people, money is my what? My best friend. Money is my best friend. My mother, my father, my brothers, these people, my money is my best friend. Money never betrays me. It never leaves me. It never cheats on me. I can do whatever I want with this money whenever I want to. That's fine. That's money can be your best friend. Nothing wrong with that. But know for sure, based on this hadith, this is what your wealth is going to say to you when death comes to you. Keep what you gave. Listen to this hadith carefully, brothers. Carefully, sisters. It's totally opposite and backwards. What you give, you keep. And what you keep, you don't have. How does that make any sense? You give something and you do what? You keep it. You keep something and you what? You lose it. But there's a reason, there's a wisdom behind that. The Messenger of Allah says, this is going to be your wealth. Your wealth is going to speak to you. وَأَمَّا خَلِيلٌ فَيَقُولُ. And your second closest friend, it will say, أَنَا مَعَكَ حَتَّى تَأْتِيَ بَابَ الْمَلِكِ أَوْ الْمَلَكِ. He says, I will be with you until you reach the door of the angels or the door of the king, however you wish to translate it. He says, ثُمَّ أَرْجِعُ وَأَتْرُكُكَ. Then I'll leave you. I'll abandon you. I'll forsake you. فَذَلِكَ أَهْلُكَ وَعَشِيرَتُكَ. He says, this second close friend is your wife, your family, your husband, your children, your tribe, the people that came from where you come from, look like what you look like, talk like how you talk. These people, they'll walk with you, they'll accompany you, but then they'll leave you. There's some people, alhamdulillah, they say, my wife is my best friend. My best friend is my wife. I confide with her, I talk with her when I'm stressed, when I'm down, when I'm out. She's there for me in my corner. She knows the innermost secrets about me. And she never tells anyone. A righteous wife. She's my close friend. Know for sure your wife, your children, it may be your son, it may be your daughter. A man may say, my favorite child is my firstborn, my daughter. She's 35, she's 40 years old, she's 50 years old. My sons, they're okay, but my daughter was the best child that I ever had. She's my Khalila, she's my close friend. That's fine, that's good, that's okay. But know for sure they will not remain with you. The hadith then says, they will take you to the grave, ثُمَّ يَرْجِعُونَ وَيَتْرُكُونَكَ. They will leave you and they will abandon you. I can't help you, I can't stay anymore. That person that you could call any time of the night, any time of the day, and they pick up the phone, have a situation, and they advise, what are you doing? Let's get a cup of coffee. They never ever missed your phone call. They never ever left you or abandoned you. I'm busy, I'm tired. Never. But on this day, in this state, in this time, they're going to say, I'm sorry, I cannot remain with you in this grave. Death hasn't come to me. So no matter how much you love these people, no matter how fond you are of them, they're going to leave you. The hadith then says, وَأَمَّا خَلِيلٌ. As for the third intimate friend, the third buddy, the third homie, the third person who's close to you, he will say, أَنَا مَعُكَ. He says, I'm with you. I will be with you. Wherever you enter, wherever you exit. Wherever you go, me and you are connected by the hip, at the hip. We don't separate. The Prophet ﷺ, he says, and that is your deeds, your actions, your salah, your fasting, your sadaqah, your hajj, your jihad, your seeking of knowledge, enjoying the good, forbidding the evil, respecting your parents. All that you did of khair will stay with you. And all that you did of shar will stay with you. When you overslept, when you laughed, when you joked, when you drunk, when you smoked, when you made zina, when you gambled, when you ate riba, when you paid riba, when you dealt with riba. All of the haram things that you've done, that no one knew about, that you hid, that you ducked, that you slipped, and you tried to get out of it for the people knowing about. Those deeds will remain with you. Good or bad, it won't leave you. The hadith then says, فَيَقُولُ. He says, and then man will say, the slave, he will say, Wallahi, He says, I swear by Allah, لَقَدْ كُنْتَ. He says, you are the least significant. You are the friend that I showed the least amount of importance to. You were the friend whom I loved and looked after what? The most or the what? The least. You didn't really mean anything to me. Salat wasn't important. Fasting wasn't important. This wasn't important. My money is important. My wife is important. My children are important. I have to do this on all that. I have to get this. I have to do it. My children have to go to school. I have to have a place for them to live. I can't rent. I can't do this. I have to have a house for my kids. That was your ihtimam, your focus. And oftentimes your deeds were the what? The least of your focus. Somebody needs sadaqah, someone needs help. The masjid, a woman, a widow, an orphan. Oh, well, I can't. He just asked me for money last night. He just asked me for money yesterday. I'm sorry, I have bills. I have responsibilities. As the Prophet ﷺ said about the 3 men from Bani Israel. The first man was what? Who was the first man from the Israelites that the Prophet told us about? That he sent to them an angel to test them. The first man was a what? A leper. You ever seen a leper before? You ever seen one in real life? Anybody raise your hand? You ever seen a leper before? Is it a nice disease? Something that you don't want. It was a leper. Some lepers, they lose the color of their skin. Some of them lose their skin. Some of them lose their fingers in their hands. Fall off, literally. It was a leper. And the second man was what? It was bald. It was a bald man. How many people have a problem with what? Male pattern baldness? And the third man was what? It was blind. Allah, what did Allah do? For Allah and yamtariyahum. The hadith says Allah wanted to test them out, to see where they were, what they want to say, what they want to do. He sent to them an angel in the form of a man. What do you want? What would you like? So on and so forth. They asked for things that they want. Pay close attention to what the first man asked for, the second man asked for, and what the third man asked for. And then they only came back as a poor commoner, a peasant. I'm poor, I'm needy, help me out, give me something. What's the first thing they said? Al-huququ kathira. He says there's so many responsibilities that I have, so many rights, so many bills. My farm is important, my cows, my sheep, my camel, my slaves, my servants. That is significant. Everyone pay attention, everyone pay attention. The Prophet ﷺ didn't have microphones in his days. Nah, it's okay. Everyone pay attention. La bas, inshallah. Everybody clear this? So this hadith, it teaches us, and it shows us, is that there are things that you will love, that you may love, that's fine. But know for sure is that there are responsibilities, and there are benefits and consequences of loving these things. So brothers and sisters, before we stop now, ask yourself the question, how much do you love your deeds? Are your deeds your friends? Is the salah your friend? Is sadaqah, is zakat, is hajj, are these your friends? Or these things that you do to get done with? I'm tired, I just want to pray and go home. Ask yourself the question, who's your true friend? Who's the person that's going to be in your corner when you need help the most? So as it was announced, with regards to the masjid and the maintenance of the masjid, whatever is needed, where's the money going? Are they spending the money in the masjid? Is the money going into Fulan's pocket? Fulan's bank account? Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. But you spending on a lost cause. You giving out of your wealth to Allah's house. Is it your job to figure out where the money goes? Who takes the money and how much is being spent? Is that your job? Does this hadith tell us this? The hadith says whatever you gave, you will what? You will have. And whatever you held back, you will what? You don't have. In other words, the money that you lose outwardly in sadaqah is actually a means of gaining. And the money that you keep up for insurance, for rainy days, for college, for my children, for my wife, for. In reality, you do not have that money because you won't keep it. You won't keep that money. And the only money that you will quote unquote keep is the money that you gave for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's sadaqah. So, I don't think no more needs to be said. I don't think no more lecturing, no more talking, no more speeches need to be given. Those who have the ability to support the masjid or any other masjid, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's masjids, any other establishment, inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala, of khair, inshallah, and of bir and of taqwa, inshallah. And perfection is only for Allah. And I can tell you this personally, no one asked me to speak about this. this fitna, money. No one asked me to say this. I'm saying this for my own self. Just as we were in Canada. Hanafis, remember? Canada. They spoke to us. They said, Mufti, what do you think we should do? We want to raise money, a center. We have a new building we're buying for $3 million, so on and so on and so on and so forth. I gave my advice. He says, can we have a fundraiser after the khutbah? Can we allow the people so on and so on and so forth? I gave my opinion. Wallahi, when I got on the minbar, and when they told me after the salah you have to walk to another room to pray because it's so crowded, and the place was literally packed, I said in the khutbah, give your money, fi sabilillah, to the masjid, because we came and we visited this center, and I've never seen a place like that in the West. With the exceptions to a few other places of different things. You may go to Minnesota, you may go to other places, we see serious devotion to learning and to studying and to practicing Islam, and learning and following the Sunnah. So I can say, me personally, me coming to this masjid for how many years now? Maybe 4 or 5 years. Walillah alhamd. Every time I come to the masjid, it's been a pleasant experience for me. Walillah alhamd. Nothing is perfect. Perfection is for all. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. The imam of the masjid isn't perfect. The administration, they're not perfect. But they are slaves of Allah. They're human beings. And no matter where the money is going, no matter what's happening, I can say this, there's some type of khair that exists here. Something good. There's no doubt about that. And for my 5 years coming here, every single time that I've come, I've given a khutbah or a class or a question and answer session or counsel somebody, there's been some type of khair. There's been a platform for some type of khair. So if it was up to me, and they asked me for my money to spend, I would give. Maybe Brother Lawrence put it in his pocket. Maybe he goes and buys himself a cup of coffee and a donut after the salah. Maybe. It's possible. Maybe he likes coffee and donuts. Mumkin. I don't know that. When I've come here, the times I've come in, how has he treated me? What has he made available? What has been made public to me? That's what I'm going with. Because when I go to the grave, that $5, $500, $1,000 that I keep and I preserve and I want to be cautious, I want to be safe, I don't know. And it's not going to help you in the grave. But if you go to the grave and you gave the $1,000, say it. You gave the money, huh? And I took it and I spent it on myself. Whose responsibility is that? Yours or mine? It's my sin. And inshallah, you're going to get the reward. As far as someone who's reckless, someone who's irresponsible, then that's a different story. You don't have to give them your sadaqah. You go into the masjid, the lights are off, the ceiling fan is hanging down. It's July, it's burning hot, no air conditioning, the carpet stinks, it smells, the microphone is broken. Give us sadaqah, give us money, give. That's a different story, yes. I want to be a bit more cautious where I'm giving my sadaqah to. When I come to the masjid is comfortable, it's running, it's functioning. We have beautiful recitation of the Quran, mashallah, tabarakallah. Beautiful recitation of the Quran. We have classes, we have lectures, we have this, we have that. There's something that's going on of khair. Maybe some money is getting put in his pocket, but there's what? We say what? Something of khair. And if that little something that you give that may be your safety from the hellfire, and this person, this friend not saying this to you in your grave, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala surely knows best. Alhamdulillah.